it's so great to see you guys. Thanks for watching. Can I ask you for a favor, if you don't mind? Can you write down, I feel terrific today in the comment section below? Help me engage with you. I want to connect with you. I want to authentically know how you're doing. And also, if you have any questions that maybe I can answer for you in a video, I would love to do that for you. So don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share and tell all of your friends about the connections that you're making. And I will see ya on the flip side.
Marcy, I didn't receive anything back from you in writing regarding recording this session. Are you still okay with this session being recorded?
Oh yeah, sure. No
Okay,
problem.
I'll make sure to get you a link so that you can have a copy of this on your own so that you can listen to it, okay?
That'd be fine.
Okay, and Marcy, did you catch the link that I sent in the confirmation or the reminder email about how to prepare for this session? Perfect. Wonderful. Okay, so you know about the 10-minute rule. Do you want to know everything, or do you want me to like edit?
No, I want to know everything.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, so let's get this connection started. Go ahead and put both of your hands on your heart, please. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. And when you're ready, just your first name, say your first name out loud 3 times, please.
Marcy, Marcy, Marcy.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marcy. Okay. How can I help you? Uh-oh. that sounded like a loaded laugh.
No. Would you like me to ask questions, or do you want to tell me? You want me to ask you questions?
Well, I mean, unless you want just a general reading, but if you have something specific that you want me to look into, because a half hour goes really fast. So I'm biased towards making sure your answers get your questions get answered.
Do you want me, I have them written down. Do you want me to rapid fire them, or are you going to take them one at a time?
We're going to do them one at a time. So do your priority first, like which ones you feel are most important.
I want to know if my family, my husband, my daughter, and I are going to stay healthy until there's a vaccine out.
Okay, let me see what I can do about that for you. So stand by 1 second. So first of all, I do feel like that's a really, now remember, nothing I say is ever set in stone. I'm not a medical doctor, but I do feel like you guys will be okay. The thing is you just really want to make sure that you do follow precautions, because they're talking about making sure you don't get too comfortable. So what I mean by that is so, because like I've done some check-ins on the virus itself in terms of like how it kind of operates. And I do feel like it goes in ebbs and flows. Now, I don't know where in the world you are, but I will say that there does come a point where it does feel like people can kind of like relax. The problem is some people will take that as permission to not take precautions. So what they're saying is don't get too comfortable. So whenever it is that, and everybody's level of comfort when it comes to this is completely different, okay? So for you and your family and your children, even within that realm, each of you will have different comfort levels. So if you want to just relay to your family members, until there is, this, I don't know if you want to call it a cure or whatever it is, an alleviation maybe, or just maybe more control, to not get too comfortable. That's what they're saying. I will say that it does feel like there's more of a calmness in terms of socialness and being able to be more social with other people. More human interaction around spring of 2021. I've been getting that constantly. But it doesn't feel like this really goes away for a very long time. So the virus could be around for a good 2-3 years before it actually like gets to where our comfort level would be. So don't get too comfortable. That's what they're saying. So there might be a little bit of rebellion. I don't know. So just make sure that you just don't get too, and what I mean by comfortable is cocky. Don't get too cocky.
Okay. Well, my husband and I, we our jobs, we have to work, but I am very cautious.
Yeah.
He's very cautious. You know, my daughter's probably the most cautious, but we take it very seriously.
Yeah, it's exactly. Meeting new people, being in an environment where there's like in and out. I don't know why I want to say that. With you guys, you take your precautions and you should be fine. Be really cognizant of putting hands to nose and hands to mouth, they're saying for you guys. Now I know personally, I'm always like, when spirit comes to me, I'm always like they make my nose itch. So I always have my hands on my nose, or it's running or something. So, you know, just make sure that, you know, you're always washing. You know, I don't feel like you have to go to extremes. That's up to you. But just really take precautions, be very cognitive and aware. Don't get too comfortable, they're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
So I have one daughter. Her name is
Okay.
Shay. And I want to know how she's going to be this next year. And she just started high school. And if you see anything about what she's going to do when she grows up.
What she wants to be when she grows up. Okay. Shay feels to me like she has a very good head on her shoulders.
She does.
She does. There's a sense of her that I pick up on, that she's actually she's more mature for her age than most kiddos, because she's still a kiddo, you know.
Yeah.
Most kiddos her age. She's also super intelligent. So the challenge with that is that she can be in her head a lot, and she could be a little over analytical at times. You understand this?
Yes.
So that actually could make her more fearful of life. There's something about her being like overly precautious about life. I get corona, like I get that. But there's something more. She tends to be a bit more. And it is one of those things where, you know, I give the information that I get, right? And when I say this, I don't mean to hurt, you know, or be disruptive or anything like that. But I do feel like the way she was raised was also to take precautions about things and to kind of view life in a careful manner. So she's carrying that with her. Okay. So look, it's not to say you were a crappy mom, because you're not. It's actually the opposite. You loved her. Well, you still love her, and your husband, like you guys love her, you know, but there may have been a bit too overprotectiveness. So, again, not a bad thing, but what it has done is it has given her an outlook on life that it's hard for her maybe to take risks. Now, there are appropriate times to take risks, and then there are inappropriate times to take risks. And she's got a good head on her shoulders. So what I feel, if you wanted to just make sure she is on the right track for what she wants to be when she grows up, is you start gearing her more from her head to her heart. Because what you don't want, and it does feel like it's on this trajectory. Now, again, I could be wrong. You know, I'm a human, but I feel like she'd be more apt to choose a career to make mom and dad happy versus herself happy. And that could end up being very soul sucking for her, and maybe like unhappy, you know.
No, I get it.
So, you know, my advice to you with the information that I'm getting about Shay, she's a beautiful girl. She's like gorgeous. Do you understand this? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
She's very cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, you know, she's how old is she? 16, 15?
She's 14.
14. Okay. So she's right in there. She's already learned her self-worth early on, like the first 5 years. But we want to do is we want to make sure that she feels safer in this world. Because there's a lot, I feel like that protective bubble that she's been in is not making her completely safe, because what happens if she decides to step out of that bubble? And she's going to want to, and she will. Yeah, and she will, which is wonderful. So if you can just sort of start in like asking her how she feels instead of what she thinks about things, you can start getting her from here to here.
Okay.
And here is where her intuition and her inner guidance system is, not here. So to keep her actually, truly, in reality, safe, physically as well, it's going to come from here and not here. Well, that's not true. It'll be here and here. But right now she's living primarily here, and we want her to get more here. So we want more of a balance. So start asking her how she feels, not what she thinks about things.
Okay.
And then I feel like if and when she does start to get more connected to her heart, I feel like there might be, and again, this is all up to her, ultimately, but I feel like there might be a connection with animals in her. I don't know if you understand this or not, but there might be, and again, I could be wrong. Look, ultimately she's got to make her own choice and her decision, right? I'm just giving information, and she's not even here to validate this. So this is something you can talk to her about. But I do feel like there's a potential or a possibility of her working with animals. So maybe becoming a vet or a trainer or something along those lines. There is something about animals that would help her open her heart more, which is nice too. So, you can ask her, am I wrong? Could be. Am I right? Who knows? She's still pretty young, but I do feel like there could be a connection to animals with her. Yeah. So again, just start gearing her into her heart, or helping her manage and balance the heart. And I do feel like things are going to be like, she's going to be fine.
Okay.
She'll also have a family, in case you did want her to have a family. I do feel like she will have a family.
I'm so glad, because she's really a feminist, and which is, I mean, it's good. I love that. I've raised her to be a feminist, but I often wonder if I went too much on that take, or I don't know,
Well, I mean, there's always that possibility, right? And she has her own soul contract and evolution that she has to go through, that came in when she took on this human life, that has nothing to do with you and has something to do with you. So even if you did go overboard, let's say, or whatever, however you're defining yourself, it is her experience and her evolution to break out of that, and to break free from that, and to find her own self. And that's where some of that rebellion might be coming from at some point as well. But that's why you start now, when she's like younger, to start getting her into her heart, so that you can also trust that she will trust herself, no matter what it looks like out there in the physical reality, no matter what illusions are happening, any of that. Okay. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
My next question is, will I continue to lose weight? I've currently lost 50 pounds. And, I want to lose another like 40.
Yeah. So the information that I'm getting is that if you haven't stalled yet, there will be a stall. So if you're noticing that it's slowing down or stalling, that's what's going on right now. It is to teach you patience. So your weight is, well, there's twofold what they're saying. One, the weight either started coming on or was activated, was a way for you to sort of shy out from taking responsibility from everybody. Do you understand this? Does this make sense to you? So it was a way for you to attempt to be hidden.
Yeah.
So that you didn't have to do shit. Right?
Okay.
So now it feels like you're going through this shift where you're showing up more in the world, like you're a bit more comfortable in yourself and in your skin as well. And you're more comfortable with making decisions and feeling firm about it. So you're showing up and you're sort of like saying, I'm here now. I'm okay with being acknowledged and recognized. However, I do feel like there's going to be a stall. It could be for, and again, I could be wrong. It could be from anywhere from 4 to 8 months is what I'm getting. I know. And that's why it's like, because what happens is that you get what you wish for, right? So in other words, you start to be acknowledged. You're showing up. People are starting to recognize. And then that triggers that, oh, I better take a step back.
Okay.
And that's the stall that's happening. So you're actually being given a choice. You could actually put the weight back on so that you can hide again, or you just continue showing up and training your nervous system to being recognized or acknowledged. And then once you're settled and more comfortable with that, the weight starts dropping again.
Okay. Well, it's so funny that you actually say that, because throughout this weight loss journey, that is the number one thing I have been working on is patience. And before in the past, if I didn't lose 25 pounds a month, I'd be like, oh, screw this, whatever. So my motto is all I've got is time, and I'm just,
and that's exactly. And that's
I'm kind of taking it like that.
And that is the mindset that you want to have, that's different than you've had in the past. And that is the mindset. That is the mindset that's going to bring forward and trigger this in you. And that's okay, because when you keep that mindset, you settle in and you recalibrate this new energy of 50-pound weight loss. It's a change, and you have to recalibrate this energy. And in spite of any fears, any worries, concerns, having the patience, and not just that, you're learning to trust yourself too in this process, it feels like. I mean, this weight loss is representative of a lot of things, okay?
It is.
So the stall over some period of time might be taking a few steps back before lunging forward again. But as long as you're having that mindset, that is the patience, but it's deeper than patience. It's about acceptance of who you are.
Yes.
As a whole.
For sure.
So it's patience, but it's more acceptance. I am who I am, and who I am is okay. And so that's why, if you continue with that mindset, that is the patience part, right? And so it's like the universe is saying, okay, you're doing this now. Let's just solidify. Let's just really make sure. So they elongate time, kind of. However, you are also in control. So the sooner and the less bumpy of a ride you have depends on how you're accepting, right? So when those, and just a heads up, Buttercup, this is something, it does feel to me like the second half of October, even into like the first 2 weeks of November, emotional eating has been coming up too. So I do feel like there's going to be an influx of people finding comfort through food or whatever their addiction is. So some people might be going back to drinking or whatnot. So, mid-October to mid-November, just energetically be conscious. Like if you notice you're going back in patterns, it's okay. You accept yourself for who you are. You will always forever be triggered. And then you catch yourself, and then you continue moving forward. So there is, and we live in the physical world where there's time, and that's the problem. If there was no time, you'd already be there. It takes time for the body to catch up to the energy and the frequencies that you're putting out and the intentions. So that's why it feels like it could be 4 to 8 months. So just, accept, lean into it. But I do feel like you will get there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't know if you want to answer this question, but I feel maybe I would be triggered the end of October, the beginning of November. Will Mr. Biden win the presidency?
Mr. Biden win the presidency. Okay. So here's, and I've been getting some people asking these questions. And again, you have to understand there's a whole collective energy. And I do my best to tap in individually and collectively. But when the energy is so strong collectively, I tend to pick up on the collective when it comes to specifically like this. So what's happening is people are really, really being triggered into their deep childhood traumas because of what's going on. So it's issues of safety that are coming up. Okay. And the reality, I'm giving you energetic reality, okay? Both characters, and I'm calling them characters, Trump and Biden, are here. The only reason they are here is to help us individually. Neither one of them in the universal picture, energetically and spiritually, neither one of them really exists. Neither one of them is good for the collective. This is an opportunity for you to look inside of yourself. So what happens is it gets to be like a tennis game. And we're starting to see that like this week. So it's literally going to be like this up until like the very, very last minute. So it is hard to when it is like this, and the only reason it is like this is because the universe, source, God, creator, whatever, is making us go inside individually to do this. Yeah. So this is about how safe you feel in this world. This has nothing to do with Biden, nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with any of that. I have been predicting. I really hate predicting politics. I just do. I just do, because it just brings out, just like you in your own personal life, it is affecting your core soul, that it's hard for you to figure out who are you right now, right? But that's the whole reason for this. And to, a psychic, a medium, an energy healer, whatever, someone who's in a human earth suit, is also going through their own experiences, whatever. So I do I do predict Trump will win. Now, will I be right? I don't know. Everything is as of this conversation. But Marcy, does that mean you have to be taken off course? Does that mean you have to leave the country? Because here's the reality. Remember, these are characters in a storyline that are bringing you to your own truth, your own reality. Right. So even Biden is doing it. Every single character, and you have a choice as to how you want to live out your storyline. Doesn't mean I'm right. I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong, and maybe Biden will win. But even if Biden wins, that character is here for you to look into yourself. So you can maybe even just look at this conversation as an opportunity for you to start reflecting how you can feel safe in this world. Because even if you move to Canada or wherever, you're taking you with you. So it doesn't matter. Biden, Trump, they're just characters. And no human is perfect. Each one is flawed. And neither one of them are good for the collective, because individually we have to heal ourselves. So I understand if you don't like hearing what I say. I get it. I get it. And this is the problem with politics, because it's no longer about what's really best for the people. Right. Because if it's good for the people, people would be feeling better. Yeah. So, Marcy, whatever, I can impart on you, I will say this, it doesn't matter. And I could be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
don't let it throw you. Don't let it throw you, Marcy. You have a lot of power within you, and you can have a beautiful, wonderful life in spite of Trump being president.
You're right. I guess my last question would be, so there's been some friction in my family because of politics. Yeah. And I have a cousin that was my best friend, and I'm no longer speaking to her.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I know, Marcy. It's so hurtful, isn't it? It's awful. This is the reason it's important to see that these are just characters. None of this really, really matters.
And I just want to know if we ever will be back together.
Yeah. Let me look into that for you. Yeah. I can really feel your sadness. I really feel your sadness. It's genuine, true sadness. What is her first name? Do you mind telling me just her first name? Caroline?
Caroline. Yeah.
Caroline feels way more staunch in her views than you are. You understand this?
Yep. Yep. That's the problem.
Right. Well, it becomes a problem because I'm looking into, like, again, remember moving from head to heart.
Yeah.
You are very much in your head as well. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Being in the head is beautiful. It's a sign of intelligence. It's cerebrality. I don't even know if that's a word. I'm going to coin that word, cerebrality. But I feel like you do have a tendency to get more into your heart. And when you're in your heart, you're able to see more than one truth. It's not to say that how do I say this? There are more than one truths. As there are people, human beings, and even more than, there are truths. And that doesn't mean one truth is more right than another truth. It feels to me like you're able to connect to your heart more than she can. So that allows you to see her truth as her truth, even though it may not be your truth. You understand this?
Absolutely.
And with Caroline, I feel like she's very disconnected from herself. And when you're disconnected from yourself, it's hard to get into your heart. But that doesn't mean she's not right. Also, right? Right. So when I look into this situation, it feels to me like as of now, as of this conversation, you'd be going to an empty well. Okay. So putting your attention on her right now means you're leaking your energy on someone who cannot, at this point in their life, be receptive to somebody else's truth.
Right.
So
you're 100% right.
So the more you leak your energy on something you can't control and is also a truth, the more you will disconnect from yourself. So what you want to do is just not put water in a well in the desert for now, okay? Everybody needs to calm the fuck down. Everybody.
Yeah.
That's a process. Okay. So I do feel, with that being said, I do feel there can be a reconnection, but there is a time gap that has to happen. And I do feel that if you do want to have a reconnection with her, you're going to have to be the one to do the repair. However, now is not the time. And I do feel better timing would be like next winter. Okay. So that's like, just figure what is winter, December, January, February of like 2021, 2022. That's not to say she may not, turn around and find ways to connect. I mean, I'm not connecting into her. I'm connecting into you and your energy with her. And what I'm being told or shown or tapping into energetically is that your first opening from your energy to reconnect and then repair will have to be made, but you will have to be the one, because your heart is bigger and more open for right now. Again, that doesn't mean her heart will not crack open between now and then. Okay. Everybody has a God-given gift of free will and choice. Yes. So, you will have what feels like an opportunity to reconnect and repair. And then what can happen is this can be just a blip on the screen in the big picture. Okay. But also it's a really great lesson for you to know that when it comes to Caroline, if your friendship is super important, you have to look bigger and beyond each of your truths. Okay. All right. But I do feel, and we'll have to end with this, I do feel that there will be a reconnection. It'll just be, more of a repair on your end, and it's going to take time. And that's okay. In your time, you will come to learn, and you're in your own growth process. Remember, this is an individual process that leads to a collective agreement. Right now, the collective is not agreeing. The only thing they're agreeing to is fear. It's the only thing everybody is like, yeah, absolutely. I'm scared as fuck. That's the only agreement. No one else agrees with anything because no one else is trusting their own truth enough to be able to trust that the other person is also correct. Even if like 3 or 4 people are still voting for the right person, they'll still have like different stories within themselves because these are characters for our personal storylines. So you can be just fine, Marcy. You can have a beautiful life, beautiful reconnection with your friend in all of this. It's about you, your process, your trust, your acceptance, and your weight is what is bringing, this all to you. And you get to work with your daughter on this. How beautiful is that? But you guys can guide each other into each other's hearts. It's so beautiful. So beautiful.
Oh,
Marcy.
thank you, Terry.
You're very welcome. So I will make sure that I email you a link to this so you can watch it again in case you need, I know I need to listen to my readings several times, and any predictions that are made too, so.
Yeah.
All right, Marcy.
Time we had together. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, it's so great to see you guys. Thanks for watching. Can I ask you for a favor, if you don't mind? Can you write down, I feel terrific today in the comment section below? Help me engage with you. I want to connect with you. I want to authentically know how you're doing. And also, if you have any questions that maybe I can answer for you in a video, I would love to do that for you. So don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share and tell all of your friends about the connections that you're making. And I will see ya on the flip side.